Hello and welcome to this edition of Central Intelligence. I'm Ashlyn Bobble.
And I'm Abby Weiler. This week we look into a trending environmental issue. We also follow the Me2 movement here in Springfield.
All of this and more coming up on CI.
Every year, students from across the globe travel to Central to experience a new part of the world.
Sasha Agarwal and Addison Pierman tell the story of one of the many foreign exchange students at Central.
I am from Norway and I live in Oslo, the capital of Norway.
Nora Hindram Larson is a foreign exchange student here at Central. She has touched the lives of many since she arrived a month ago.
My cousin did it last year and she told me that it was a super experience and you got to meet new friends.
I met Nora through tennis, and from that we kind of bonded and just kind of hung out some more outside practicing tennis together and just got really close.
2 weeks before I came here, that's when I got my host family.
They had a booth set up at the farmer's market. My kids were adopted from China, so I asked if they ever got any students that were from China. She had a girl that was born in China and lives in Norway looking for a permanent family.
I met Nora when she came with her host family to open house. I offered her a spot in our journalism learning lab, and she's fit right in. You know, she works with the other kids beautifully, wonderfully. She's made great friends already.
I've definitely seen that she's been fitting in spectacularly here. She has so many friends, and anytime I bring up Nora, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, I love Nora, she's my favorite.
I think kids are drawn to her and she's welcoming to them. You know, she's got a real extrovert vibe to her too.
I have friends, I have people that care. It's been good.
As Nora learns more about Springfield, she shares her own culture with others.
She's just changed my life by teaching me a whole new language and just some certain things about her culture and just things that are so cool to understand about somewhere else.
I've been learning more and more about the different cultural expectations and the different cultural background that she comes from.
We exchange both ways about our culture. We're showing her and she's telling us.
I think learning about other cultures through foreign exchange students is critical. It's the closest thing you're going to get to sort of a first-hand experience of experiencing the culture.
It just brings the world together a little bit more, I guess.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Sasha Agarwal and Addie Pierman reporting.
During the summer, Missouri's agriculture community was devastated by a drought.
Kayla Helms and Kaylee Sun report the farmers' hardships due to the drought.
It's late June perhaps when we really stopped getting rain, and we've been without rain for most of the summer.
In August of this year, 93% of Missouri was in a drought. In September, that number dropped to 63%. But due to the lack of rain, there have been many lasting impacts on the agricultural community.
Hay is very expensive right now because it's short supply, and unfortunately the quality of that hay is really poor sometimes.
When a pretty severe widespread drought happens in an area, we'll see the cow herd number shrink.
Right now, a lot of people have already sold off quite a bit of their cattle.
We're needing to buy hay, a lot more hay than normal, and hay is just been really hard to find, as you know, everyone is noticing in the farming world. And we've actually had to cull some of our cows, had to ship them into town just so we had less numbers to feed this winter.
And then there's always the psychological aspect of this. We don't talk about that a lot.
One of my friends, you know, it broke her heart because she had to sell one of her cows that she named. You know, this is one of her pets, but she just couldn't keep it.
One of the ones I had to ship due to the drought, she was one that had raised, and so it was quite hard to see her go, actually. You have those that are your friend and they're part of the family.
With no control over Mother Nature, farmers are directly affected by their natural environment.
When you're in farming, some survive and some don't. So you just, you know, have to work through it and hope you're one of the ones that continue to keep farming.
Ranching is an art and a science, and so there is no 100% guarantee. There is no correct method for everybody because everybody's just a little bit different. And so I think that's one of the challenges of farming and ranching, but that's also what makes it kind of special and fun.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Kayla Helms and Kaylee Sun reporting.
The organization Me2 Springfield held a rally in support of the Me Too movement on October 6, 2018.
Kelsey Zimmerman and Alex Sharp investigate the rally and the importance of the movement.
On October 6, 2018, a rally for the Me Too movement was held in the square.
This event today is something that's been planned for about 6 months. Me, Kelsey Nickel, and Jordan Harris are the co-organizers of this event. Basically, it was their idea. They wanted to do something as survivors to support a community.
I attended the rally on Saturday because I am a woman and I know a lot of women who have been sexually assaulted in their life.
I think rallies, like specifically the Me Too rally, are important because they bring a lot of people who have sort of the same or similar experiences that they're scared to talk about or that affected them deeply and personally. They bring them together and let them know you can get through it and there's people who will support you.
I think that rallies like this are really important because even if it doesn't immediately cause action, it does cause awareness, which is super important. With the Me Too movement, all of these stories have come out and there's so much controversy around it when there shouldn't be.
For many people, these rallies have become important due to their past experiences.
My experience started, actually I have one experience that began when I was 4 years old. So basically it was a situation where I was sexually molested by a cousin. 4 years old, playing hide and go seek, and he decides that he wants to help me hide. So as we were hiding, he decided that that was an opportune time to put his hands under my dress and molest me for a few minutes.
My mom in college was date raped, and whenever she told her mom, she told her that's what you get for letting a boy into your room. I was in 4th grade and a boy in my class tried to have sex with me.
I know of at least 2 of my female friends that have experienced some kind of sexual assault, but deep down I'm sure there's a lot more. A lot of times it's a lot more prevalent with women because I feel like a lot of times we don't teach men to respect boundaries and to know when to stop.
From the age I was 10 to 14, my mom had to work a lot, so me and my brother got left at home. My brother would invite his friends over. Well, one day I was just hanging out there, and they started to touch me when we were hanging out, and my brother's friends threatened me and told me if I told anyone that they were going to kill me. My brother, he finally moved to college, and I was still kind of scared to tell, but before he left a couple days, tried to rape me, so I went and told my mom about it. And we went and told I was currently in state's custody, so we went and told my caseworker. No one really believed me for a while. My brother's somewhere now, and not gonna ever see him again. I think people need to know this stuff really does happen to people.
It's really important that we spread awareness and create a support system for these women because the stories are real and they do happen all the time. I know so many women who have been sexually assaulted. And if you don't know somebody who has, then it's probably because they're too afraid to tell you about it.
Encouraging you to be aware and stay informed, this has been Kelsey Zimmerman and Alex Sharp reporting.
The Last Straw movement has taken action to reduce plastic waste locally, beginning with straws.
Gladys Hernandez and Katie Seiko unfold the community's perspective.
Straws have become the center of attention in the problem with plastic waste. Springfield as a community has begun taking actions to reduce the use of plastic straws locally.
On average, every American uses 1.6 straws a day. If you take into account just the people in Springfield, if we did that for 70 years, you could make a trail from coast to coast across America over 60 times.
The Last Straw movement here in Springfield is some local restaurant owners that basically got together voluntarily and said, hey, how about we just common sense stop arbitrarily giving people straws. We could probably just save a lot of single-use plastics by not giving something to people that they don't ask for.
Plastic straws are such an unnecessary thing. You don't have to have a straw. Like, you can just drink out of the edge of your cup. I mean, we're already like using a plastic cup, so that's bad enough. Why do we have to add another piece of plastic, on top of that? Even if it does cost a little bit more, and paper straws are much more expensive than plastic straws. So it is a sacrifice people have to make as a business to make that step to protect the environment, but we're definitely 100% behind that.
It's just one little thing that you do, and you could make such a huge impact.
However, others in the community have a different perspective.
Plastics are a significant problem when we look at our environmental status in the world. For example, there is a garbage patch that's 3 times the size of France in the ocean, and that's a significant issue. So yes, plastics are an environmental issue, but are straws the actually root of the issue? I do commend these local businesses for at least trying to get on the right track in terms of bringing awareness to the fact that we have a lot of plastic waste.
Encouraging you to reduce your plastic waste, this has been Gladys Hernandez and Katie Seiko reporting.
National events bring light to minority representation in government.
Zoe Hamilton and Mariah Oki Thomas delve into the locals' perspective.
On August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown, an 18-year-old African-American teen, was shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri.
I was just a little bit taken aback, especially knowing that I have 2 boys that were about the same age, and knowing that they can be in a situation like that.
That's what I began to notice, that racism was anywhere, because I never thought of it whenever I was in elementary school. Before all of these things began to happen, then I'd see on the news every single week, another person, another riot.
Really made me think about the students we work with and what information do they need to know when they get out in the community to protect themselves. As we know now, shootings could happen anywhere. It's not just officer on officer, it happens within communities.
It is too common to shoot especially African-American teenagers by the police, which is unfortunate.
Michael's mother, Leslie McSpadden, is currently running for city council in Ferguson.
First of all, I was surprised that in Ferguson, with the number of African-Americans in Ferguson, to find out that there was only one African-American on the city council. That was very, very surprising.
So I feel like it's important for them to have Black people and representatives in their government, so they can have people to look up to, the young kids and children that are, maybe wanting to do stuff like that.
It makes me feel good that somebody's wanting to step up and represent minorities and people who are victims of systematic racism, specifically in law enforcement.
Increasing education and awareness can help foster acceptance within communities.
And I think we can be active in other ways. You don't necessarily have to run for office to be active, to be a citizen, to let your voice be heard.
I just wish that people would become more aware of what's going on and how often police shootings and systematic racism occurs in the U.S.
We want to restore the value of human life and that everybody, no matter what color, race, religion, sexual orientation, that everybody is equal and accepted. At the end of the day, no matter what color the skin of the elected official is, they have a duty to serve and protect the people.
From Central Intelligence, this has been Zoe Hamilton and Mariah Oki Thomas reporting.